All right, let's do some speaking practice today. So here's Miss Trúc from our class IELTS 43. So let's start with part one, Miss Trúc. Okay, we were discussing what did we discuss about? Yes. Let's do 47 about staying up late. Staying up late, thức khuya. So do you go to sleep early or stay up late, Miss Trúc?
I usually stay up late. It's not about what I have to do, such as tasks or something like that. It's just my habit
Mm.
that
You mean habits,
I,
right? It's just my
yes,
habits, right?
just my habit. Yes.
Right.
Uh, because I often
I often, yes.
often surf uh, internet at night after my daily tasks.
After
So
my daily task is done, you mean?
yes, after my
Mm.
daily task is done, to
Uh,
entertain.
oh.
Yes, and it's catch my attentions a lot.
Hmm.
About 1 to 2 hour. I know that if you get up, if you stay up late, it's not good for your health. And use technological
Technological
device.
devices, you mean?
Yes, technological device uh, can make you even more hard to sleep.
Exactly. So, oh my God. Some night it's very difficult for me to sleep, yeah. But during the day, it's way easier to sleep, you know? Like I can just lie down and I take a quick lunch nap, you know, but it's way harder to sleep at night these days. I don't understand. Yeah, it must be the use of electronic device, you know. So did you stay up late when you were a child, Miss True?
Hmm. But fortunately, when I was a child, I had a good habit
Oh,
that I sleep. That
I
I
slept.
slept
Ah.
very early.
Oh,
Yes,
not anymore,
after
no?
I remember that when I was in secondary.
Mm,
At that time,
secondary
it's hard
school.
for a student to sleep early because we had so many uh schoolwork to do. But I didn't know how. At that time, I slept very early at
Mm,
about about night about night p.m. Yes, and of course I have I had to get up early to
mm,
finish my task because at the time I couldn't sleep stay up late.
I couldn't stay up late, I see.
So instead of that, I accept this to get up early to
Mm,
finish mm, my task with undone.
I see. So, what do you do when you stay up late? Besides from like what you said, you basically just surf the net. You just surf the net or the internet. Beside from that, what do you do when you stay up late? Because sometimes when I stay up late, I clean, you know, I clean when I stay up late. Yes. And I what's it called? I wash my clothes. I clean and I clean my home and I wash my clothes. You know, sometimes I do that at night. And I also vacuum as a verb. I vacuum my my bed because I have cats, so their fur because it's always full of cat fur, đầy lông mèo. Well, and sometimes what else do I do? I clean the toilet as well. Yeah, but not much. So what do you do when you stay up late?
When I decide to stay up late, it's usually because I'm immersed in uh, social media's platform on uh, in my phone, in my cell phone. I I love to surf the internet to watch short videos. Yes, which related to music, filmed, uh, which are cut from the original ones. Yes, because I didn't have patience to watch complete complete movies, so I choose to watch some cut videos,
You
which
mean,
are viral with viral senses.
hmm, I say, so you watch a lot of viral videos, no?
Uh, I think that is not what I shot be- because they usually what the last form recommend me. I just scrolled the screen and watch what I see. If it's catch my attentions, I will continue to do it. Of course, I also love reading books, mm, which are related to novels. Maybe some soft stories,
Mhm.
funny stories to just to entertain. And after that, when I feel tired and want to sleep, yes, that time I falling sleep.
Mhm. I see. So how do you feel in the morning after you stay up late? A lot of the time I feel like a zombie. I just really don't want to stoop. I don't want to wake up in the morning. You know? How do you feel in the morning after you stay up late?
In To be honest, the morning after a late night is usually quite a struggle.
Ugh, it's a
And
struggle.
yes, and I feel the consequence immediately.
You feel the consequence immediately. Yes.
Yes,
And no
I,
coffee, no amount of coffee can
yes,
wake you up.
yes.
Không có lượng cà phê nào có thể làm mở cái mí mắt của mình lên.
I Even worse, I didn't have a habit to drink coffee.
Oh, you didn't?
Ah, yes, I just drink tea, and so at the time I find my body's quite tired.
Of course.
Yes, and if I stays up too late after work, after working off, my my head can be I yes, I can have a headache, just a bit, but it's not easy at all, but not comfortable at all.
Oh, it's never comfortable. I remember. Oh my God. I remember back then, a few years ago, like I think, yeah, a few years ago, back in 2019, 2018. I remember I had my first class at 8 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes one day I have five classes. So basically, I stop my day, I think probably about 10 o'clock. Oh my God.
But
Sometimes
some
it's
people,
like that.
some people,
Sorry?
oh, I want to say that, but some people say that they feel if they have to choose between uh wake up
Waking up
early
early.
or yes, waking up early or staying up late. For finish their task or something like that, they will choose staying up late.
Of course.
Yeah,
It's easier to
but
stay up late.
but it's not about me. I choose the opposite thing option. I find that it's easier for me to get up early than staying up late. Uh,
Hmm.
yes, of course. Of course, if you have to stay up until 2 or 3 a.m.,
Hmm.
it's very hard for me to do that.
Hmm. Right. Okay, so right. Really, I never like to wake up early in the morning. Oh,
No, no one,
terrible.
no one liked it.
Nobody likes it. Oh
Yes.
my God. Okay, so let's talk about something else now. Test two. Okay. Whoever said that you have to wake up early to succeed, it's such an idiot. It's evil. Thật độc ác.
It's just a kind of recommends. Oh,
Okay, let's do 243 then. It's part two and part three. Describe your ideal house. So basically, ideal, ideal, ideal. Um, what does it mean in Vietnamese? Không phải tối ưu mà là gọi là lý
lý
tưởng.
tưởng, ngôi
Because
nhà trong mơ.
ngôi nhà lý tưởng, ngôi nhà trong mơ đấy. Yes. So the noun form is also ideal too. Một cái lý tưởng nào đó, an ideal. So it's an adjective here. Describe your ideal house. It's like the house of your dream. It's like a house of your dream. It's your ideal house. Where you should say where it is, what kind of accommodation it is. Loại nơi ăn chúng ở nào. So just to give you a few ideas about accommodations, we have a semi-detached house. Okay, so let's just say types of accommodation, and basically you can see for yourself. Okay, so basically most of the time we talk about apartments. We talk about house but there are many kind of houses. Um, let's just talk about house, okay? I need some image. So basically there are types of house and buildings. You can see here. Some people they live in a flat or apartments, of course. A lot of people do that. Or they can live in blocks of flats. Những cái gọi là căn hộ khối á, ở trong những cái giống như là xếp chồng như là gạch khối vậy đó. So blocks of flats, it's like apartments stacked. It's like apartments stacked on each other. Nó giống như là xếp chồng lên nhau những căn hộ đó. These are called blocks of flats or apartment buildings or flats or apartments. You can talk about detached house. Nhà biệt lập, detached house. So we have semi-detached house. It means it share a walls with each other. Nó chia sẻ một bức tường với nhau. Semi-detached houses. So basically, two semi-detached houses share a wall with each other. Hai cái nhà mà song, nó gọi là song lập không ta? Semi là một nửa. Nó sẽ
Semi.
chia sẻ cùng một cái tường với nhau. Semi-detached house or duplex. But detached house, they do not share a wall with anybody. Cái nhà mà biệt lập nó không hề chia sẻ bức tường với ai cả. Okay. And you also have something called townhouse. So of course they are very, very close together. It's called a townhouse. A townhouse is basically very close together. And of course, and a lot of the time they share a wall with another house, or they share walls with other houses. There are basically no gardens. Những cái nhà ở townhouse nó giống như là mấy cái nhà ở Việt Nam bình thường là townhouse á. Thường là nó không có vườn, nó không có cái nó không nó luôn luôn chia sẻ cùng cái tường với cái nhà khác luôn á, cho nên nhà bên cạnh làm gì nhà bên kia biết hết. So whatever, if one in one house there are noises, the other houses around it will know. So a townhouse like that, or you can have terraced, terraced house. So a terrace is an opening, a space, an open space in front of the house, like a garden, something like that. Một cái không gian mở trước cái nhà gọi là terrace, okay? Or some people they live in the countryside, they live in cottage, or they live in cabin like this. Sống ở vùng quê thì có những cái nhà cottage. Ngôi nhà nhỏ ở vùng quê is called cottage. Or a cabin. Cabin is a small, very small, a very small cottage, một cái nhà nhỏ vùng quê nhưng rất nhà nhỏ luôn á. It's a very small, usually made of wood, thường là bằng gỗ. What is bedsit? I have no idea what it is. But penthouse, you know what penthouse is? A penthouse is someone who live on the top floor. A penthouse has a, what is it called? So a penthouse has a incline, nghiêng, an inclined roof with inclined windows looking at the sky, nó cửa sổ nhìn ra bầu trời, nhìn lên bầu trời nha. Inclined roof with inclined windows looking at the sky. Some penthouse has their own rooftop, Một số cái penthouse nó có cái rooftop, nó có cái sân thượng của riêng nó luôn á. Well, a penthouse an excellent choice to have. But it of course is very expensive. Anyway, so you can describe those kind of accommodation. Some people they don't have the money, they have to live in the dorm, dormitory. Ký túc xá sinh viên. Or some people they don't have the money, so they just have to live nó gọi là mấy cái nhà tạm bợ, mấy cái you don't want to talk about like Hong Kong coffin homes. Nhà quan tài ở Hồng Kông. Oh my God, you don't want that. You really don't want that. Or they live in shanty towns, những thị trấn lụp xụp. Or khu ổ chuột. You really don't want to live in shanty towns, seriously. Okay, what furniture there is? Có những đồ nội thất nào? And explain why you would like to live in it. All right. And then part three, what type of housing are popular in your country? So you need to talk about like types and why so many people want to live in those places. Or do people have to live in those places because they don't have the finance to move to a better area. They don't have their finance. Những năm đầu nha. They don't have the finance. Họ không có tài chính để mà mua di chuyển sống ở một nơi nào đó tốt hơn. Wow, you have to explore all the options, okay? Mình phải khám phá, mở ra nhiều cái tùy chọn nha. Explore all the options. Okay, what do old people usually like to, sorry, what do old people usually like to live? I think this question should be where do old people usually like to live? Sorry, I should change this one. 243, right? Yes. Okay, I should change this one to where. Okay. 243. Okay, there you go. So, mm, okay, so where do old people usually like to live? And what about young people? You can explore the options. But I think in Vietnam, nobody really wants to live in old people's homes, những nhà dưỡng lão. Tại vì người Việt Nam vẫn còn cái định kiến rất nặng về cái chuyện nhà dưỡng lão. Có nghĩ nhà dưỡng lão là nghĩ đến chuyện con cháu bỏ bê cha mẹ. Cái định kiến siêu nặng luôn á. So in Vietnam there is a huge, a strong prejudice, a strong prejudice, strong prejudice, strong prejudice, định kiến. Tại vì pre là trước, judge là đánh giá, chưa gặp đã đánh giá là định kiến. Prejudice is a strong prejudice against that, chống lại cái đó. Because a lot of people think that if you put your parents in an old people's home, it's like people think that you abandon them. That's what people think. But to be honest with you, old people's home has, what is it called? Has basically nurses and doctors. They do have nurses and doctors to take better care of the elderly than at their own homes. Đương nhiên rồi, bị cái gì là ngay tức khắc có y tá chăm sóc liền luôn và có bác sĩ liền luôn á. Còn ở nhà là nhiều khi con cháu nhiều không biết luôn á, bị cái gì té chẳng biết được. Nhưng mà ở dưỡng lão là luôn luôn có bác sĩ sẵn hoặc là y tá điều dưỡng sẵn, có chuyện gì là biết ngay. Nurses and doctors can take better care of the elderly than at their own home, of course. So that is the selling point. Nó chính là cái điểm ăn tiền. Cái điểm ăn tiền bán được, tức là cái điểm ăn tiền á. The selling point of a product, of a place. Một cái điểm ăn tiền của một cái nơi như là viện dưỡng lão như vậy. But it has to be a good place, well managed. Nhưng mà nó phải được well managed, phải được quản lý tốt. Okay. And what is the difference between housing in the past and now in your country? So think about houses in the past. Ngày xưa là ta có cái nhà theo kiểu mà ba gian gì đó, hai trái gì đó, something like that. Normally in the past, you can look at houses in Vietnam in the past, and you can see that back then they all looks like this. So there are basically three rooms. Three room, basically there's a kitchen, there's a living room, and there is a bedroom. Something like that. If you live in houses like this in the countryside, yeah, It's typically like this. Điển hình nó sẽ như vậy. Okay. But some people they live in block houses, nhà khối á. So some people they live in block houses. So a lot of people have to share a bed with their family members. Nhiều người phải ở chung giường, nằm chung giường với lại thành viên gia đình khác nhé. Không có phòng riêng. There's no separate room for each of them. No separate. No separate room for each of them. Like for example, me. So up to the point when I was about 10 to 11 years old, I still had to share a bed with my brother. So when he went to India to study, I had the whole bed for myself. And after that, I remember that he moved to my mother's restaurant. He basically he has a separate room on top of my mother's restaurant. I still remember those days. It was fun. Oh well, it was very fun to have his own room because if he doesn't have his had he didn't have his own room back then, me neither. So we had to share. Okay, but talk about now. So the differences is that I think everyone has their own separate room. So now everybody has their own separate room, I think. And also think about um, are rooms becoming wider or is it becoming smaller? You can talk about that. Thì đương nhiên giá nhà ngày càng tăng. So of course with the housing prices increasing very fast day and day, is it easier to afford bigger homes or something like that? Is it easier to afford, có thể chi trả được bigger homes, something like that, bigger houses đi. All right, think about that. Think about the decoration as well. Thực sự nhà Việt Nam á, có một cái kiểu nhà gọi là nhà ống. So basically, there's also a very typical Vietnamese kind of house, like this. There is a main door, and when you walk into the house, you often see what? You often see an altar, một cái bàn thờ. And on the other side, you can see motorbikes. Bên kia thì mình lại thấy rất là nhiều cái xe gắn máy. And then a little bit here you can see the sofa with coffee table. And then deep inside you see TV, plasma TV or TV. And then if you go deep in the inside in the room, you can see a big staircase. Cầu thang lớn. Under the staircase, you can find a toilet and basically a kitchen. At the like deep inside of this ground floor, you find a kitchen. Đó là một cái dạng mà thiết kế mà rất là phổ biến luôn ở nhà ống. And then when you go upstairs, you see like bedrooms with ensuite toilet. Bedrooms with ensuite ensuite toilet. You remember the word ensuite, right? Ensuite toilet means the toilets are inside of the bedroom itself. Bên mỗi một phòng ngủ nó có cái phòng tắm riêng của nó. Bedrooms with ensuite toilets. And of course, when you go up to the top floor, what do you see? Phòng thờ. So basically a big room for worshiping. Chuyện thờ cúng. You often see a big room for worshiping and basically an open rooftop for planting trees. Một cái sân thượng mở để mà trồng cây. Open rooftop for planting trees, something like that, you know? So that is a very typical type of house in Vietnam. If you live in like let's say apartments, so the design is different. Nếu mình sống ở trong căn hộ design nó khác lắm. Okay, so you can talk about that, the differences. So in the future, what will housing looks like? So you have to guess. Trong tương lai, chuyện nhà cửa, nhà ở như thế nào? Oh wow, there will be more people. Um, will people live in like coffin homes? You don't want that. You really don't want that. Oh my God, coffin homes in Hong Kong, you don't want that at all. Sống mà chật chội mà nó dơ bẩn lắm luôn á. You don't want to live in coffin homes at all, like this. All right, so you have some time to think now, please. Okay, Miss Ruth, can you describe your ideal house?
I would like to
Yes.
describe my ideal house in my mind. First of all, it should be close to my workplace with a convenience transportation so that I don't have to spend too much time commuting. Surely
Okay.
this is something everyone looks for and prioritizes when buying a home because a house can always be renovated. Uh, but the around areas is not. Since I want to live with my family, so a spacious house with a front yard could be wonderful, where
Mm,
I can push a bench, uh, plant many trees and flowers to relax. Of course, having a private room is essential to, to maintain privacy, uh, and it allows me to arrange and decorate my space in my own way. For me, the interior should not be too mm, elaborate, just
okay.
basic furniture with neutral tones to create a comfortable atmosphere. As
Okay.
I don't want to spend too much effort on cleaning and organizing. Uh, in the in the in the living room, it there should be a a sofa with a coffee table, um, where my family members can sit and can share stories with each other. Yes, it could be amazing to our church a house, as it could satisfy all my preferences.
I see. So, do you know how much it would cost to purchase an ideal house like that?
I can't estimate the exactly
The exact
price.
number now?
Yeah,
Like, do you have any idea, like, which area? Is it in the city? Which area you would like to live in?
because just because just talking about uh mm, the the Errors that I want. It should be quite expensive,
Hmm.
maybe. So it's hard for me to estimate the price, the cost. Yes, but
No
it's
problem.
just the ideal house in my mind.
I say, you know what? I think maybe it's you should have an idea like where you're looking at, so I can give you an idea. Like for example, my apartment complex. So last year, okay, this is in Phú Mỹ Hưng area, District 7. And just last year, April, I bought this one for 4 billion Vietnam dong. And now you know the price has gone up to about 6.5 or to 7 billion already.
Yes, a very
A very
huge,
big increase. So I
and
think the price is very unreal, you know. Ảo lắm luôn á.
it's increasing.
Hmm.
Oh, of course, properties always.
The price always increase. And for example, I live in a 70 square meter apartment, and as I heard from my neighbors, the rent for a two-bedroom apartment, 70 meter square like this, is about 20 million Việt Nam đồng. 20 triệu. Thôi căn hộ hai phòng ngủ vậy. Okay, there are two swimming pools. There is a gym, a big gym downstairs with like not that good equipment. So I had to buy them like a new machine, a new gym equipment. But to be honest, well, you know, I still think that it's too expensive, way too expensive for people to buy. Anyway, so do you know what type of housing are popular in your country then? Can you explore the options and why people love to live in those things?
In my country, uh, apartments in block house are very popular, especially in big cities. Many people choose these types of accommodation because it's easier to afford compared to detached house or semi-detached ones. These departments usually have 2 or 3 rooms. Is quite suitable for some a small family with 2 to 3 people. Others there is sometimes no separate rooms for each family member.
I see.
Yes, but it's quite bargain to begin to start their independent independent uh, for a person or mm, uh, to create fam create a new family for a married couple. Yes. Besides that, townhouses are also common, particularly
Townhouses, yeah.
yes.
Particularly like for example, in like very crowded areas like Phú Nhuận district. I don't think it's called Phú Nhuận district anymore. Now it's something Xuân
Mm.
Hòa, something like that. Xuân Hòa Ward or something like that. Oh dear. So there's a lot of townhouses people live in. Why do you think those houses are so popular?
They often have a, s- a staircase and even a small area under it for storage. Houses nowadays are built with modern decoration to make them more comfortable and convenient. Of course, because the crowded of population,
Yes.
so uh, people have to choose choose to live in house which like a tube that that they can that there are many floors to save the space and I think it's a good idea to open the open the base like that because it have um your house more uh, more mm, more bit bigger and more comfortable. S- Some people also uh, renovate their house after buying them. So, uh, I think that there are many types of house that people can choose. So, uh, in a big city
Mm.
like Ho Chi Minh cities or Hanoi capital, um, there's some housing choice such as what I said about.
Right. Okay. So, where do old people usually like to live? And how about young people? Let's talk about the differences in mindsets. Mà không ai muốn sống nhà viện lão ở Việt Nam. Not nobody wants to live in old people's home in Vietnam. It's weird.
Oh.
Even though it's actually a very good option because they can see so many of their friends there. Thì sống đó thực sự là được điều kiện y tế tốt và gặp gỡ rất nhiều bạn bè trong đó. So I do think that it's very good for the old people to live there. But a lot of people are still like, you are so bất hiếu. You know, a lot of people's like, oh my God, you abandoned your parents. You're so bad. Oh my God, something like that. It's weird. So what do old people usually like to live? Where do old people usually like to live? How about young people? Something like that.
For me, it depends on the context of each family because it can create a habit to for people to choose what they want to live in.
Mm,
For example, people usually prefer to live in quiet houses rather than a busy apartment where they have to share their public space with others. Of course, all people uh, often choose to live uh, with their family members uh, to have a to maintain
to
to maintain yes to
maintain
maintain their mm, family bond
the family what?
family bond
Maintain the family
bond
bonds, I say.
yes and I think that's very important for people for all people so a big house a big detached house seems ideal for
Detached.
them
Detached. Yeah.
detached house is is ideal for them.
Mhm.
Hmm. They like homes with separate room and enough space for relaxation. Yes, many elderly want worshiping rooms in the house for
Mm,
uh, spiritual activities,
okay.
and it's and it's also a very important custom in Vietnamese culture and but and are passed down through generations.
Mm,
They, are, they also prefer place with less traffic because hmm, especially fewer motorbikes on the road is make the space more quiet and peaceful. Yes. On the other hand, young people seems seem prefers apartment
mm-hmm.
in well managed block houses. Uh, they enjoy modern decorations and facilities, uh, which tacked with attached to their house, like like elevators and security system. Yes, young people often live in smaller places when they live alone, um, because they are easier to afford and have an independent life.
Independent life, yeah.
Yes. Uh, I think convenience is their top priority.
Priority, the top priority.
Priority.
So independence is their top priority. Priority. Đúng rồi. Đó là cái ưu tiên hàng top. Đó là sự tự chủ, tự lập. Of course, I moved out of my parents' home because I want independence. Yeah. So, what is the difference between housing in the past and now in your country? Let's explore a lot of options here, you know.
Yeah. Housing in the past was much simpler compared to now. Uh, House was mainly built for living, not for appearance or decoration. Because people at that time uh, focused on the practice value. For example, they um, find a house mm, which is afford and mm, it, and there are enough space for a big family where people can uh, do their uh, daily activities uh, com- comfortably. In the So most families at that time lived in houses with open space and yards.
Hmm.
There was many kinds of house at that time, uh, sh- such as mm, for I think that I think that house which mm, many
Yes.
the house uh have with no floors. It's just a house with a big grass in front of where people uh, plant trees and uh, and raise their domestics. uh, domestic, dom-
Domestic.
domestic,
Domestic
domestic
what?
animals. Yes,
All right,
such
domestic
as
animals.
yes, such as uh, dogs,
Dogs,
cats,
cats.
and chickens, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in the rural areas, uh, they uh, they also build a well in front of the house to save water,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the dry season. Uh, yes, it's also become a s- a signature
Mm-hmm.
in the minds of people who live in village. Becomes very beautiful features in Vietnamese people.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays,
Right.
many nowadays many people live in a block houses or apartments. Modern homes are better managed and have more facilities uh, with with the development of mm, technology. The happenings of smart house with a smart device inside have people lives more convenience and easier to live. That they consumes a lot of time and efforts. People now spend money to alter their house to suit their lifestyle. For the decorations, for high-end technological device to assist their daily tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So in the past, few homes has modern furniture like plasma TV, washing machine, uh, something like that. But now they are available and cheaper than ever. So more and more people have a chance to own at least one to have their life more convenient. Today, comfort and convenience are more important, especially for young generation who are busy with their work. So they want their private uh, life become more easier. Become
Become
easier.
easier.
Yes, housing has clearly improved in quality.
So you think that old houses have worse quality than houses these days? Không dám đâu nha. Nhà bây giờ thường là nó chất lượng xây sao mà cỡ một năm là phải phải sửa sửa hoài luôn á. So basically, new houses these days in Vietnam, I think they have to fix like they have to be fixed like quite often, you know. But in the past, I don't know, but how they people build houses much more durable, I believe. Like if you look at like houses in the past, you know, French colonial houses, những tòa nhà mà kiến trúc thuộc địa Pháp á, like look at French colonial houses in Vietnam, and you will see basically they last for 150 years or even more than that, you know, more than 100 years. Mấy cái nhà mà gọi là nhà Pháp xây như này của thuộc địa nó tồn tại rất là lâu luôn á nha. And also it's very cool to stay inside. Nó mát lắm luôn á. Because the ventilation is good. Tại vì cái sự thông thoáng khí rất là tốt luôn á. Okay. and they don't need that much maintenance compared to like new houses. So we really need to learn from the past, from people in the past. So that's what my idea is. Okay.
Okay.
So, Mr. In the future, what will housing looks like? What do you think?
It might imagine in the future, housings will be more practical. For example, uh, mo- most people may live in in two house and
Yes.
with smart system house because evolu- the evolutions of technologies,
Development of technology.
yes, development of technologies, houses will be designed to save spaces and equipped with modern device to assist people life. Many
Hmm.
houses will uh, include a place for manned for manned operations where they can where, where it can be set up with with screens with where they can where they can arrange and mm, promote every device in their homes. Oh, that's what I imagine in my mind.
Yes.
It was very modern and yes, and convenient.
I see.
Of course, yes, there may also be an open roof stops for relaxing or planting trees because people want to save their space. So a house with many floors can be future options. Yes.
Hmm.
Uh, inter, in, Interior decorations will focus on comfort rather than luxury.
Hmm. Rather than luxury, I see.
Yes.
I
House
think
will
it depends, nó tùy vào cái loại người nào đó nha. Nó tùy vào cái nhóm người. I think it depends on what age group and basically what is it? What age group and um what interests, what nationality they come from. Like for
mm,
example, if Vietnamese and Chinese and Korean people, they would love to have more luxury homes, I think. But comfortable, I'm not so sure. But everyone wants a comfortable home. Ai mà chẳng muốn nhà thoải mái. Nhưng mà cái sang trọng á, nó tùy vào đối tượng nào nữa. It depends on like where you're from, I think.
but because of the increase of populations with mm, it flourishes, it flourishes, uh, it flourishes speech. I think that people in the futures will prioritize practical and um, as yes as saving and save the base. Yes.
Hmm.
House Overall, future housings will be more convenient and and eco-friendly. Also,
Yes, it's more eco-friendly. Okay, can you talk more about that? Like eco-friendly, like how? Like, will they use like better building equipment, better building methods, or paints, or they will not use so much chemicals? in their building, like for example, cái thỏi PU á, là cái mà nó gây ô nhiễm và nó độc hại nha. Like people often use polyurethane. It's polyurethane spray to spray their furnitures so that it protects the wooden furnitures. Nó bảo vệ những cái đồ mà gỗ, protects wooden furniture. But the problem is those PU or polyurethane spray is actually toxic. So you have to find a way to get rid of those smell, or you must use better chemicals. So what do you think in the future?
In the future, housings will place a strong emphasis on being eco-friendly and sustainable. For me, uh, house will be built with environmentally friendly materials that reduce pollution and protect people's health. Renewable energies such as solar panels and
Panels,
smart
panels,
panel,
panels.
panels, solar panels, and smart systems to control electricity and water usage can be a good blend. Many buildings with include an open rooftops
Mm-hmm.
where residents can relax, grow vegetables, or plant trees for their daily demand. Can
Mm-hmm.
be a raised idea because mm, because the mm, climate change
Climate
that
change, you mean?
the climate change, yes, that cause consequence for planting crops in many areas of many countries. So it's a simple ways for people to maintain their normal life. In in some way, besides that, houses will be designed to make use of
Natural what?
natural light,
Natural light. Ah,
natural light.
to
Yes,
make use to make use of natural light, ánh sáng tự nhiên.
yes,
Yes.
and yes,
So
and wind. You know, and the f- and the and winds. Yes, reducing the need of air conditioners
hmm,
and electric light.
to reduce the dependence
Yes,
on air conditioner and
and
artificial light. Những cái hay cái đèn hay là ánh sáng nhân tạo, giảm sự phụ thuộc vào máy lạnh và ánh sáng nhân tạo. Reduce the dependence on air conditioners and artificial light. Very good, very good. And I
uh,
think that people are trying to, let's say, they grow. So basically, they grow vines, những cây dây leo, những cây mà thuộc họ dây leo. They grow vines or trees on buildings to basically to reduce the temperature to reduce the temperature during hot days and keep warm during the winter time. Tại vì nó điều hòa nhiệt độ nha. Basically, it regulates the temperature. It regulates the temperature quite well. Đặc biệt là mấy cái nhà mà nó kiểu mà nhà ống, mấy cái nhà mà giống kiểu mà căn hộ mà khối khối khối, oh my God. Like block houses get heats up like real fast. You don't want that. Oh dear. So let's talk about something else now. Let's move on to another topic. Okay. 248. Describe a time you learned something in words and sang them from memory. Miêu tả một lúc mà bạn đã học cái gì đó in words, học từ hay là học học giống như viết ra đó, và hát chúng từ cái trí nhớ của bạn. So learn something in words and sang them from memory. Like for example, you were in secondary schools, I think everyone learns to sing. And you have to learn the lyrics, right? Phải học cái lyrics, phải học cái lời nhạc á. So I think everyone they have to learn the lyrics to sing in front of the teachers, I think. So you should say what you learned, where you were, what you have to say or sing, who was listening to you, and explain how you felt about saying or singing something you had learned. Okay. And then part three, do you think it's easier to remember the words to something as a child and more difficult when we become adults? Có dễ dàng để nhớ cái lời á, khi lời hoặc là words của ai đó khi còn bé, và càng lớn thì càng khó nhớ được không? So why do you think it's true that okay, let's just remember the songs that we learned when we were younger, you know? We still remember them very much, but new songs, it's harder to remember the lyrics. Do you think so? Something like that. Now, why do you think it's true that most young children enjoy learning songs and poems? Tại sao bạn lại nghĩ là đúng là phần đông trẻ nhỏ thích học bài hát và thơ ca vậy? It's a hard one. So probably it's because the rhyme, rhyme, sự ăn vần với nhau, sự có vần điệu với nhau, the rhyme, or maybe the rhythm. You can talk about the rhythm, the rhythm, the rhythm. Nó là cái điệu, cái âm sắc đó. The rhythm nó là cái gì ta quên mất tiêu. I forgot the Vietnamese word for that. Cái âm điệu. The melody is of course giai điệu. Có giai điệu như thế nào? And of course like the vibe of the vibe, cái khí chất, cái năng lượng, the vibe of that song, or poem makes people remember that they want to learn that. Do you think learning songs and poems is a waste of time? Anh chị có nghĩ rằng học những bài hát và thơ ca là một sự phí phạm thời gian không? You know, you can learn a lot of things through songs and poems. Ví dụ học bản tuần hoàn dựa vào bài nhạc. You can learn, for example, learn the periodic table. Bản tuần hoàn, periodic table through a song, something like that. You can do that. Uh, Sometimes people use songs basically to tell story, to remind each other of old lessons, để nhắc cho nhau nhớ về những bài học xa xưa. To remind each other of old lessons, những bài học về đối nhân xử thế. Like lessons on how to deal with people, how to be a good neighbor, how to be a good son, daughter, something like that. How practical it is for younger students to learn facts about the world. World. Like, for example, dates in history. Những người trẻ bây giờ phải học những cái kiến thức về thế giới, ví dụ như là ngày tháng lịch sử đi, thì điều đó nó có thực tế không? You think is it practical to learn like facts about the world? Like for example, nơi nào có khoáng sản. Like for example, where you can find resources or capital cities, chỗ nào thủ đô là đâu, uh, languages, something like that. Người gì nói tiếng gì, These are facts about the world. Is it practical to learn them? Because now you have ChatGPT, Now you have the AI, you have Google, everything. Is it still practical to know those facts? And are there any techniques that school children can use to remember new information more easily? Có bất kỳ kỹ thuật nào mà những đứa trẻ trong trường có thể dùng để mà nhớ những thông tin mới một cách dễ dàng hơn không? Okay, you should think about this one. Like, okay. Okay, Mr. Can you describe a time you learned something in words and sang them from memory?
Okay. Um, I remember that when I was in high school, uh,
Yes.
I really liked the Tale of Q,
A
the
pair of
Tale
what?
of the
A
Tale of
pair.
Q by
Ah,
yes,
it's called The Tale of how do
Q
you say Kill?
Q
Kill.
Q
Truyện
yes
Kill.
by Nguyễn Du authors.
I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, other is called a story. Is it actually written in verse?
Written nha.
Written,
Written. Không phải
read,
written nha. Written.
read,
It's
written,
actually written. Written.
written,
Written. It's actually
written,
written.
written in form, and it's quite difficult to memorize because the language contains many uh, Chinese Vietnamese words. Huh, I don't know exactly what it says. Hán Việt.
Well, Chinese
Yes,
Vietnamese is called Chinese Vietnamese.
yes, Chinese Vietnamese words.
Yes, and
However,
Chinese Vietnamese words.
because I love it so much, I memorized a few passages that impressed me deeply. One time during a literature class, the teacher allowed us to relax a bit and encouraged students uh, to uh, to uh, to introduce a
Yes.
poem to earn bonus points. I volunteered to go to the front of and say a passage from this artworks for the whole class to listen to. In fact, it was rare for a student who was not particularly fond of literature to memorize poetry. Uh, Honestly, I didn't like literature. Uh,
Mhm.
however, however, I don't know why I love this word. Maybe because it's very signature,
It's very
uh,
what?
signature, very very impressive for
Ah, it's a very impressive signature, I say.
yes. So at that moment, I felt very proud of myself. I was happy to be able to share uh, my interest with others, especially because I also received extra marks.
Hmm, I say, kiếm được thêm điểm nhé. Of course, I also receive extra marks. Extra marks, yeah. All right, so do you think it's easier to remember the words to something as a child and more difficult when we become adults or adults?
my opinion, it's much easier to remember words when we are children. Maybe because children's brains are more flexible and absorb information better.
Mm.
They often remember things through rhythm and melody, which makes the words more memorable. Memorable.
Right. Memorable, memorable.
Memorable.
Yes.
Songs and poems learned at a young age can stay in our memory for many years. Even people don't remember exactly each word. It's still a flower of melody that's in people's minds.
In people's minds.
In people in people's minds. As adults, we have more responsibility and stress which affect concentration, multitask, and work and personal life tasks that requires people to separate their memories. Adults tend to analyze,
Tend to what?
uh, tend to tend to tend to analyze the words
Mm.
instead of simply learn by heart.
Heart.
Learn by heart. Yes, that's quite different from children's.
Mm. I understand that.
In
Mm.
addition, adults do not practice memorizations as
You
often.
mean memorizing?
Memorization. Practice memorization.
Memorizing things. Adults do not practice memorizing things. Chứ có
Yes,
memorization trường hợp này nó phù hợp chữ memorizing hơn nha.
memorizing. Yes.
It's a verb ing form, dạng verb Anh á. The adults do not practice memorizing things like children,
Mm,
because they think memorizing is only for children. Vì họ nghĩ chuyện ghi nhớ chỉ dành cho trẻ nhỏ. That's what they think.
yeah.
Bắt chuyện bắt học thuộc lòng dành cho trẻ nhỏ. That's what they think.
When I was a child, I spent hours to learn by heart. My
Heart.
learn by heart.
Learn by heart.
Yes, learn by heart. Without any without any being retired. I don't know what happened to me now. I I am like a golden fish.
Truly goldfish like brain.
Oh, yeah. I would hmm, I admired myself in the past when I could remember everything
Hmm.
I learned by heart.
I
Yes.
see.
Oh,
Oh dear. I think there are multiple factors. Nó có multiple factors nha. So basically there are multiple factors in play. Có nhiều cái nhân tố mà nó hỗ trợ nó chơi trong cái trò chơi mà xác định nhận ra cái chuyện xác định ra cái chuyện mà người lớn không có nhớ được nhiều bằng trẻ nhỏ. There are multiple factors in play here. Yeah, but let's do the next one. Why do you think it's true that most children enjoy learning songs and poems? Do they really enjoy learning those things? Bị bắt học thì không muốn đâu. If they are forced to learn, I don't think they enjoy that. But I think most young children enjoy learning songs and poems, I think.
if talking about song and poems, I appreciate songs because the melody makes learning fun. You know,
Mm.
more children enjoy learning songs. The the melodies helps them remember words without much effort. Uh, Besides that, songs usually have simple lyrics, which are easy to follow. Children also enjoy repetition and songs
Repetition, right?
repetitions, and songs naturally repeat sounds and phrases. Poems and songs often tell stories, which keeps children interested.
Keeps you interested, yeah. Nó giống như nó có vần điệu, and basically there's a rhyme. I talk about
Right,
rhyme in songs that helps people to remember things better, giúp con người ta nhớ mọi thứ nó dễ dàng hơn. Nó có vần điệu với nhau
right.
mà. And also the music helps people very well to remember things. Music is it's a really powerful tool, một cái công cụ rất là mạnh luôn á, để giúp con người ta nhớ được từ này từ kia. Do you have any more ideas?
They can they can imagine characters.
Imagine.
Imagine they can imagine characters and situations easily. Learning through music does not feel like studying to them. It also allows them to move, sing, and express emotions. I like the way melodies improves emotions of a person uh, and affect a lot of the feelings. If the melodies is brightly and vibrant and happy, it make people f- it make people's emotion is not is help people's emotions are positive,
Mm.
and it seems easier to remember things when you are happy. I think so. As a result, learning becomes more uh, enjoyable rather than stressful. That's why songs and poems are so popular with young children, um, especially in literature uh, for children. They usually use songs and poems to have
Poems,
children's poems
poems.
simple poems to help children practice their pronunciations and yes and uh, brains brains memory and brains memory
Sorry.
brains memorization
Okay. And brain memorization. Like memory, you mean?
memory okay yes and
Memory là trí nhớ
memory
luôn nha, ký ức luôn nha. And train the memory, then train the memory. And train their memory. Luyện trí nhớ. They have to train their memory, yes. So do you think learning songs and poems is a waste of time, or is there anything good about it?
no I do not think learning songs and poems is a waste of time at all. In fact, this is an effective way to develop language skills. Songs help a learner remember vocabulary through lyrics and rhymes. Poems improve pronunciation and awareness of uh,
Awareness. Whoa,
awareness
whoa, 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 whoa.
a-
Awareness.
awareness awareness of rhymes. They can also tell story and express emotions and feeling. Many poems remind people of uh, values and life lessons. So they are also mm, implied uh, deep messages. Learning poems encourage creativity and critical thinking. I strongly believe that mm, because through the lyrics, mm, people can learn about the author's experience and what they want to express to others. It also helps students relax and reduce stress. I think learning by heart poems or song more more seems easier than long paragraphs, a long story. Yes, a long paragraphs of
Trust me, people remember song lyrics much, much easier than they remember their lessons, you know. Nhớ được lời nhạc á, người ta nhớ được dễ dàng hơn nhiều so với lại nhớ bài đó thiệt luôn á. So
com- compare.
the question here actually focus on is it useful or not useful, you know? Câu này tập trung vào chuyện là hữu ích hay không.
Compared to memorizing lessons, this method is more engaging.
Uh-huh.
So, learning songs and poems is very useful and meaningful. It helps children to develop their language skills in their early age and help people practice their memory.
I see. Okay. All right. So how practical it is for younger students to learn facts about the world, like for example, dates in history or something like that. What do you think?
I I think that learning fast about
The world.
the world is practical for younger students if it's taught in the right ways.
Hmm.
Basic facts help students understand how the world works,
Mm-hmm.
about physical phenomena,
Phenomenon.
phenomena,
Physical
yes,
phenomenon. Yeah.
physical phenomena uh, that help children to understand why the device they use day to day
Mm-hmm.
works like that. However, memorizing too many
Memorizing too many.
yes, memorizing too many things can be boring
Mm.
and hard to connect with the real life when they have to remember uh, things such as historical uh, days or events. Teacher use, Teachers should use stories to tell historical events instead of only listing the the times bonds or facts. For example, um, facts in history can be taught like story with characters and emotions, uh, with the mm, which related directly to the events that they uh, want to introduce. Because if they ask the characters in the story, sometimes they can uh, they can tell about their personality or what their character in the past in the history is for their nation. can be a plus point for children to try to remember.
I see.
Yes, so this helps the children remember information more easily because they have something to and
Imagine.
imagine and uh, connect informations. Visual arts like and songs can also help. Songs uh, which are reasons uh, for the historical characters. As I remember, many children learns about Võ Thị Sáu. Uh, yes, heroine in the past in their curriculums.
Oh,
Yes, it's a it's a good way to appreciate our historical heroines and help children to remember
I wonder what you
an
talk about this.
important events uh, in the past.
Heroin.
Heroine.
Hero and heroine, basically anh hùng và nữ anh hùng. Anh hùng và nữ hùng. Like, for example, we have Trưng Trắc and Trưng Nhị. They are two great heroines in the Vietnamese history, you know.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. And anything else, like learn facts about the world. Like, for example, they learn a lot of facts in geography, you know, môn địa lý học nhiều fact lắm á, về thế giới.
Yeah.
Like, for example, capital cities of countries. Why do they need to learn those things? Đất nước nào có tài nguyên khoáng sản gì? Like, which country has what resources? Why we need to know those things, you know? It's important because if you want to invest in the future, you know, mình muốn đầu tư vào đất nước đó và tương lai mình phải biết về đất nước đó nhé. You need to know about the country very well before you decide to invest, you know. And you need to know like the people, how they are, you know, if you decide to invest.
You
Because
know.
in, yeah,
Okay. Uh, Continue.
yes, please.
Uh, and talking about geography, I think that is quite interesting for people to explore about a nations, especially when they want to travel, or they want to, or they have a plan to live in that nations. Uh, it, knows deeply about geography of of a nations have them to decide the times a- and the place that they choose that is choose start their traveling.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. For example, when people want to uh, enjoy there's a snow, of course
What?
they have
Enjoy
a
what?
snow seasons.
What?
If they want to enjoy the nose the winter season. Yes,
Ah,
winter
the
season.
snow season.
Yes,
Mùa tuyết. Mùa tuyết,
yes,
right. The snow season. Yes. What about
yes. They have to choose a right place.
the right place at the right time, you
Yes,
know?
and the right time. Yes, and
Yeah.
it's related directly to geography.
Like if they want that, they can go to, say, Korea or Japan during the winter, for example. Something like that, I think. But
Yeah.
not during the summer, for example. Chứ còn người ta quyết định được những quyết định như vậy. So it helps people to make like an informed decision, to make an informed decision, you know? Quyết định mà có thông tin đàng hoàng, có tri thức chứ phải quyết định bừa, you know? So, are there any techniques that school children can use to remember new information more easily? What do you think?
Yes, there are many techniques that can help students remember new information. One effective way is learning through songs
Uh-huh.
with clear lyrics and melody. Using rhymes makes information easier to remember. Children can also turn lessons into short stories to tell ideas more clearly. Uh, it's the I remember that in high school or secondary school, when the children learn by heart mm, their chemicals elements,
Uh-huh.
they usually uh, their teacher usually helps them learn better by uh, using uh, a simple poems, simple poems,
Poems, a simple
passes,
poems,
a
yes.
poem passes that include these elements in a funny way to help children to remember them. As many smart passes like that
Uh-huh.
uh, passed down through generations and becomes a strict ha- that helps a student to learn chemical chemical elements. There are many tips like that in uh, other subjects that I cannot introduce everything.
Exactly. Hmm. There's a lot of tips, they can remember the information more easily. I think when I was younger, I tried to remember things by drawing pictures. Trời, hồi nhỏ mình vẽ tranh, mình vẽ hơi bị nhiều nha, vẽ trong sách, vẽ đủ thứ luôn. Just to remember things. Like for example, tại sao gọi là bình Ngô Đại Cáo mà không gọi là bình Minh Đại Cáo? Mà trong khi đó là đánh quân Minh nha, you know? So my friend was asking that question, and then everyone remembered that. And then we wrote Minh Dynasty is the one that the Vietnamese people were fighting against. Viết vô là chúng ta đánh Triều Minh, Minh Dynasty, chứ không phải là đánh quân Ngô. Thực sự đúng là phải là bình Minh Đại Cáo mới đúng á. So, I mean, that was an old story I can remember. Like asking question, can actually help people to remember things very much more easily.
Oh, totally
Like
agree.
random question. Yeah,
The more questions you ask, the more information you uh, remember. The more piece of information you remember.
okay.
I think that most of the people who cannot remember things because these messages cannot leave an impressions in the mind. So it becomes a temporary information
Mhm.
and cannot be stored in their brains. Yes. Besides that, to continue my answers, besides that, visual arts, such as pictures and charts, are very helpful resources. Uh, for example, in geography uh, subjects, charts are very important to display information for children to remember figures. and data. Yes.
Mhm.
Re- re- repeat repetition is another important technique. Um,
Like repetition, a lot of repetition, just a lot of repetition. Nhưng nào
repetition. Rep-
repetition, thật lặp lại thật
repetition.
nhiều, lặp lại thật nhiều. Well, that's exactly what we are doing right now, with like English learning. Basically, it's all about repetition. Cứ lặp đi lặp lại hoài thì nhớ được thôi, thì ứng dụng được thôi. But basically, that's just the core of all the methods of teaching. Đó là cái nguyên tắc cơ bản luôn á của tất cả mọi phương pháp dạy học, đó là phải lặp lại nhiều lần thôi. You know. I think there's nothing magical about it, to remember new information more easily. Chẳng có gì ma thuật hay là thần kỳ để mà nhớ mọi thứ một cách dễ dàng hơn đâu. Không bánh mì trí nhớ, something like that, There's no magic bread or whatever from Doraemon, No way. Anyway, I think we should stop here now. Okay. So, okay, I'll copy this thing. Okay, we should stop here today.